이렇게 3명 또 호시호시는 많이 해봤는데 또 이제 승관이랑은 또 처음 해보는 거죠.
그런 거 같아. 이 3명 조합은 처음 봤다.
아니 우리 둘이 또 복고팀이고 당신과 나는 구석팀이고
적점이 있는데 왜 달소가 유닛을 그렇게 의미를 주시는지 많이 많이 해보고 싶어 하는데 죄송해요. 악기를 미래를 응원해드리고 싶은데
그래서 아니 아무래도 승관이는 이제 혼자서 너무 잘 나가니까 혼자서 뭐가 잘 나가?
오늘 또 매체에 또 연락이 막 온다잖아요.
Match point. So cute like whenever he gains a point he doesn't like scream one, he just does a tiny little fist pump. Like you see like that, like what? Oh, it's so cute. Oh, such a legend I cannot.
Germany, 19-year-old.
Oh, so cute. Look at that. So calm, so collected. Not looking good for Taipei at the moment.
It seems like he's got him now here.
Point. Oh no. Okay, still in the game. Oh my god, he looks so cute with his mask. Oh my god. Okay, 10-5, still in the game. Okay, still in the
Interesting
game.
if Chuan can take this next one backhand.
Oh, and just like
That's the
that,
reaction
gone.
of Dmitry Ocharov of Germany. He is the man to put them through to the semi-finals of the men's team
So
event.
sad, I wanted Taipei to
It's going to be a
win,
slightly nervous end
but it's
to
okay.
that match.
The strength is coming back. Okay, so basically this week is week 0 for all the freshies to have like their orientation camps and whatever, and next week is the official start of our lessons already. So some says like we'll start in week 2, some says that next week we'll start like in the second lesson or something like that. So yeah, I'm just very sian because we have to start getting ready and like studying again after like the whole summer break of not studying. Oh my god, I'm just not ready to like start preparing for lectures and reading on my readings and all that kind of shit, you know. I love how like when she gains a point, right, she doesn't like scream or like say it. Like, she just does a silent victory. Like Lin Yu, yes. My female table tennis. I don't know if I can look at the reaction.
Reaction from Ito.
Oh, that's a a double whammy. Hit the edge of the table and hit the top of the neck.
So cute.
Throws her arms up in despair.
So cute. I am almost done with Pachinko. Okay, this doesn't look like it's almost done, but like I just reached part 3 or book 3. I don't know, they call it book 3, but it's in the same book. So I just assume that it's the third part. I'm left with like about less than 200 pages. So yeah, I really want to like finish this today, just so that I can say that I've done something today, because I haven't done anything today for work or for school, which starts next week. So yeah, I mean, reading is a productive activity, right? Yes. And anyway, like I want to hurry up and finish it, because also my loan for the audiobook is like ending in about 3 days. Yeah, so I want to like quickly finish it. Yeah, the audiobook is very good, by the way. Yeah, I love how like the audiobook narrator like narrates the story, and also like I think it's also because of how good the writing is in this book that the narrator has a good way of narrating it. Yeah. Although I will say that I was expecting like quite a lot from this, because everybody who read this that I know of said that they really enjoyed this, but I didn't. Yeah, and as in, it's not like it's a bad story, it's just that like it's not very like anything amazing for me. Yeah, so I'm not sure whether the last like part will change my mind, but I don't think that this will be any higher than a 4-star. Yeah, so we shall see. And also I just started watching Move to Heaven today. Let me move here so that I can put the drama here. It's such a good drama so far, and it's really short. It's only like 10 episodes, and the main character is a boy with Asperger's syndrome. They run this he's part of this company called Move to Heaven, where they do like trauma cleaning. So for people who have passed away or who have died, right, then they are the ones who clean up their belongings after like the bodies have been settled, and then they clean up their belongings and either throw it away or like give it to people who will cherish their belongings in a sense. Yeah, it's really good. Like you know more about the stories of those who have passed away, and then it will make you very emotional because usually at like the beginning vibe it's very emotional already and make you want to cry because of their stories, but so far I haven't cried yet. But yeah, it's really, really cute. The main character, I also found out that he is half Malaysian, which is very surprising, and also he's the guy who acted in Crash Landing on You also, so I found that very nice to know as well. And also I think the Vincenzo building was featured in this, like just very, very shortly, but yeah, good to see. He's now doing this work with his uncle, and the uncle is like there as a guardian for the main character, but the uncle doesn't want to be there. Like he's there I think for money or something. And I love like how you will see how like maybe he will become more accepting of his situation now and more loving towards the main character also. So yeah, I'll update if I have any more thoughts. Look like an egg. But yeah, so today is National Day. Our National Day parade got postponed to like 21st August, but today is still National Day ma. So I've been seeing like helicopters flying past with the National Day flag, and then the, are they called the fighter jets or something, like in the formation one, in the V-shaped formation. But then my fingers are always too slow to like catch a video of it because they fly by so fast. But yeah, just wanted to come and say like the next day already, and I did not finish Pachinko yesterday night as I wanted to, so I got up early to like finish this book. And I did, but it took me like quite long because I wanted to listen to the audiobook while I was reading the book. So yeah, this is my copy of my book, and the maximum that Overdrive allows you to up the speed is 2 times. So I was listening to it on 2 times speed and reading it at the same time, so it was like a little bit slow, but also at the same time it's like after I read it for a while I will get tired, so I have to like put the book down and like do something else for a while to buffer the book in a sense. It took me quite a long to finish it. And okay, if you can see right, my text, I actually like stopped tabbing after a while. After like from here all the way down, I just didn't tab anymore. And actually I was considering like not tabbing at all, because after a certain point it was like the tabs are very repeated and it's also like not very memorable that will make me want to tab it in a sense. As the more I read, right, the more I found that I wasn't enjoying the story as much as I wanted to. So it's like I feel like I might unhaul it in the future, so I should take out my tabs before I unhaul it, you know. So I also didn't want to like put everything inside only to like remove it at the end, you know. So talking about this book, right, I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. In the end I only gave it like 3 stars because okay, this is a story about a whole generation of this Korean family. So they were from Korea, then they moved to Japan, and then it's like trying to go back to Korea, but the struggles of all that, and then there was the war. Basically first we start off with Yang Jin and Huni. They give birth to their daughter called Sunja. When she was a teenager, she actually got like pregnant because she fell for a wealthy Yakuza. She then found out that the Yakuza was actually married already, so she didn't want to have anything more to do with that person. And just nice, there was this pastor that happened to stay in their boarding house. So Yangjin and Sunja were like running a boarding house at that point of time. So this pastor came to check into the guest house, and just nice he decided to like help Sunja, so like marry her, and then they travel together to Osaka. Yeah, so that's the start of the story. And from there, right, it's like the whole generation of family. So there are children, and then the pastor's brother's relationship there, also like grandchildren, so on and so forth. So it's literally a whole family, and it's like you see the characters grow up and then they have their own children, so on and so forth. So it's like you get to see that, which is very interesting because I haven't seen that in other books before. I'm finding out myself because it's so hot. And then it's also a lot about like history, because you get to see like the dynamic between like Koreans and Japanese at the time, especially because there was a war, and how like the Japanese discriminated against the Koreans in their own country. So you will see a lot of Christianity because the people in this story like are Christians, like most of them. So they will worship the Lord, go to church, have their service and stuff like that, which I didn't like to read about, but I can understand why it would get mentioned so much in this story, because their faith is like helping them get through their struggles, you know. Other than that, I really like, there's so many characters, so at one point I started to like forget who was who, and I had to like pause for a while and think about it. And because of the sheer number of characters, right, you don't get much time with each particular character, such that you don't really feel much for them. Like, that was my reading experience. So in the end I only gave it 3 stars. It's an adult book, so yes, even when I was reaching the end, I wasn't like feeling anything much from, like, the writing was good. Like, I love the audiobook, by the way. And also it was interesting to see this whole generation of this whole family generation. The more I think about it, the more I want to unhaul it, which is very sad. But yeah, maybe I'm just not reading it at the correct age, or maybe this book is just not for me. I just came to say that, so basically tomorrow will be my first official lessons for this semester. It's week 1, but tomorrow is Friday and it's my first live class, because the first week, like, some professors are saying like because of the National Day holiday they cancelled the lecture just to let us have a break or something, or like, my official start is tomorrow, and the best thing is it starts at 8 AM. I haven't had 8 AM lecture. I don't think I've ever had 8 AM lecture, because when it was still physical school, right, I wouldn't choose 8 AM lecture, like, no matter what, because the thought of travelling there for face-to-face lessons at 8 AM is just no, man. I don't think I have had, during online school, I haven't had any 8 AM classes until this semester also, like, purely because of like luck or just by choice. But yeah, so this semester I finally have 8 AM lessons. At least it's still online, just that I haven't woken up so early except for my 1 day of work. So yeah, tomorrow is gonna be fun, man. Like, and the thing is, it's like 8 AM class is Korean class, and Korean class is a class where you have to turn on your video cameras for Zoom, because it's technically tutorial, just that they call it lecture. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun, man. Looking at my 8 AM face tomorrow morning. And also, I just came back from, okay, not just, but I went for a night walk with my father. Like, we've been doing that for, I think, about 2 weeks, like, occasionally, whether it's just to like get a walk or like exercise, it depends. And I think it's quite good actually, because I get my exercise done within like 20 to 30 minutes, but if I do a home workout, I will like drag it out for very, very long, so I can use like 2 hours to do a 10-minute workout. Okay, not that much, 2 hours to do like a 30-minute workout, because I'll like have a lot of breaks in between. So yeah, that's helping me to save time and still get my workout done, because when I haven't been doing my home workouts previously, right, I would just not do a workout at all. But yeah, at least now I have the option of like maybe just going out for a walk, or like jogging, because other than that I don't really get a lot of like exercise done, because now everything I have to do at home. Oh, more importantly, just now I was watching this video by ODG. I think it's something about explaining inferiority complex to kids with Lee Sung Yoon. So Lee Sung Yoon explained that concept, and then actually his song was kind of about that also, and so he sang it to the kids, and oh my god, that song was so beautiful. Okay, I think it's called like What Can I Steal, and he sang it live and it's so good. Like the lyrics, when I was looking at it, right, like one part of the lyrics just made me like tear up and like couldn't stop, because there's a lot of dreams in his wardrobe, like the lyrics, and then he tried putting them on to see like how they would fit on him, but then he ended up throwing them away because it didn't fit so well with him. And then oh my god, it just reminded me of my own like I used to have a lot of like different aspirations, you know, as a kid, like oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but then like slowly I became like I don't know what I want to do already, because it's like they all don't fit with me, and I don't know where my interest lies. Especially in secondary school, I had that trouble like a lot. I had a lot of trouble deciding what I wanted to do, and I'm still lost actually. I just kind of like narrowed it down, or like did something just for the sake of prolonging time. Yeah, so it like struck a chord with me, because like I don't know what I want to do with my life. And in secondary school I was like very like sad that I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, you know. Yeah, so that made me very emotional. I tried like finding it on Spotify, but I cannot find it, so I hope by the time I get around to eventually editing this, I would have found it already. Yeah, it was such a beautiful song. And I also realized that in like while trying to find that song on Spotify, I realized that he was the one who sang the iconic song from Lost Who, the song called We Are. Oh my god, man, that song made Lost Who, okay? Like without that song, Lost Who wouldn't be as epic as it is. Such a beautiful song, and sung by him also. Like the talent this man has, holy shit, man.